Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. Good evening. Thank you, everybody, to join us. This is the second seminar in the series. We are partner. CAPA NoVa are partner with the KCSC, and the last month, students from KCSC gave a very good introductions, and then the contents are so impressing. And then also we have a fun Kahoot at the end for some of the questions. Very good. And then this month we are gonna introduce Chinese culture and then also some of the history of China and immigration history to from the Chinese American immigrants to America. And uh, and I think in the next couple of months, we're gonna organize other activities. Some of these gonna be in person, I believe. Then it could be hands-on to making Chinese and Koreans and maybe Indian food together. So I'm so happy that we have these opportunities. So I will, yes, Esther, do you want to say something?
No, I thank you for the warm introduction. I'm very excited to learn about Chinese culture and to listen to the students' presentation. And yeah, thank you for this webinar. I look really forward to it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, so first let me share my screen. So I'm gonna do a quick introduction just to for the China in very quickly. I think it's more gonna focus on the students gonna be giving us more presentation. Let's see. Mm. Can you all share? See my screen? Yes, okay. Very good. So this is our flyer for this evening's presentation. This is for just quick look at the Chinese culture. Oh. So today we're gonna capture a couple of topics that related to mainly for I think mainly for the Chinese and then Chinese immigrant food and some of the stories and Zodiac and then some of the fun story for Zodiacs as well. So I'm gonna do a quick introduction to just mainly what is the in China, what the size and the population, and a brief introduction. Of course, famous items or landmark in China are Great Walls. I know some of our students visit the Great Walls, and I'm not sure about the Korean American students. Sometimes maybe when you go back to Korea, maybe you can stop by and come to China. This is in the suburb of Beijing. In China, this is the most China is land bounded country. You can see this is Asia, and China is facing the south uh, east part, and then most of the China is land bounded, and then it's bordering 14 countries, including India. Oh, my slides goes. Including India, Russia, and then Mongolia, anchored it at the center of the continental East Asia. Uh, and for the Pacific trade access and extensive eastern coast, these are the coastal line on the Pacific enables the connectivity to the ocean and supports global trade flows. And a lot of ports, cities along the coastal line. I was born in Shanghai, which is also a coastal city. It's in the middle of here. For the later on, Michael will talk about how the history in China from the Silk Road to currently China has a Belt and Road Initiative, and then how geographically, China's location has positioned as a hub for commerce and cultural exchange. So this is the how big is the land. This is the largest in globally, fourth the largest country, and it have 9.6 million kilo square meters land area, and then it occupied 6.3% of Earth's land area. The climate zone of China, it is have a warm winters and short summers. This is in the north area, and then there are limited agriculture. So similar to Americans, Maine, and in that area. And then for that part of the northern China, they got sparse populations and then have some mineral resources. And at the tropical south area, it is warm and humid, and then have a rice cultivation and have a very dense human settlement, have a long time, and also have very high biodiversity. And China also have a desert area in the west area, and then it is arid extreme conditions and then low population. China also have a mountain ranges, Himalayas mountains, and they get very high and extreme high elevations. And then also some areas in the mountain region have a glacier climate, and it attracts some tourists over there. And that area have a very strong ethnic diversity. So we'll talk about China have 56 ethnic groups later on. And then there's the fifth area is the river basin area. That area have fertile soils, intensive farming, and major cities. And some of the area actually has the persistent flood risk. Then we have the last group is subtropical forests. It has a mild and a moist climate, and the land produce teas and fruits and a lot of vegetables as well. And in that area, have rural communities mainly in that area. For the in a lot of areas in China, they have nature wonders and the major landmarks in the area. Well, so they have landscape that means mountains. There's um, high peak mountains in the Himalaya area, and then contrast with that, we have forests, and then two famous rivers in China are Yellow and Yangtze, or Long River, we call it the two famous rivers. And then around the river areas, they are sustainable farmings and trade. And this is from long history. And for the famous Yangtze River, this is the Asia's longest river that's supporting fresh water and power, agriculture, and then and supports millions of people across China core industrial area. And then you can see that actually in Americans, a lot of earlier big cities are along rivers. Here in DC area, we have Potomac River. At New York, we have a Hudson River. And So this is a similar, I think all the civilization development are very similar in this case. So in China, the Yangtze River, we have two rivers. That's so one of them, this is mentioned that have total running, the length is 6,300 kilometers. And also have in China, it's have lot of parks attract tourism all along. So here are some of the uh, iconic icons. So there's Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. We will share some of the real photos later. And then there's also Jiuzhaigou Valley. And then next one is Huangshan. Or actually, we do have several famous mountains in China. Huangshan also means a yellow mountain. Then next we talk about the population and then urban diversity. So this is the how many people in China. It is 1.4 billion. This is in 2023, and it is about 18% of the world population. In China, urban versus rural China. So urban demographics, there's over 60% of China's population lives in cities, which is very dense. And then there are smaller aging communities with slower growth in rural areas because young workers are, most of them are moved, they are moving to cities to find a better working opportunities. And in urban, in most of the urbans in the cities, they are modern transit, advanced healthcares, and high-tech hubs, especially like in Shanghai and Beijing. In Shanghai alone, it has more than 10, I think more than 20 metro lines to running to support the city population. There's a 56, and I mentioned before, there are 56 cultural, the ethnic group in China. And then the Han group is the majority of the population. It is 91% of Han. Chinese people are Han, and then the other 55 we call they are minority groups. The Mandarin is the most spoken in China, but other localized languages are also exist, and then some of them actually they don't really speak Mandarin. And then the cuisines, the food, then we will talk about that later about the food. And now just quickly go over. So now the China's GDP is become the 18% of the global economy. And then they produce the export goods and their machinery to all over the world. And I think a lot of times we say like made in China for clothing and the shoes, and then other tools are you can see that in a lot of American shops and stores. Right. And the international partnership, this is again that we'll talk about a little bit later on. Even back in the Silk Road area, China started to have import and export with other countries, and it is also actively participated in UN, WTO, and other international organizations. And so this is the quick introduction of China, the geography, population, and the current global impact. Okay. All right. So next, Olivia, do you want to share any questions so far?
Hello, yeah. Is my microphone working?
Yeah, we can see. We can hear.
Okay. Okay. Is it working? Is the screen showing?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll be going over the Chinese language and characters. So we'll go over the pictorial origins of Chinese characters, Oracle bone script, earliest Chinese writing, evolution and stylization of characters, learning and practicing Chinese characters, and the benefits of calligraphy. Chinese characters originally evolved from direct pictorial representations of objects and concepts. Early humans draw simplified images that over time become standardized symbols used for communication. This progression from pictures to symbolic language facilitated recording ideas beyond the limits of oral transmissions and laid the foundation for one of the world's oldest continuous spreading systems. So the character for mountain, Shan, represents three peaks. Person, Ren, shows a standing figure with two legs. Mouth, Kou, is a square shape portraying an open mouth. These examples demonstrate the clear visual resemblance that early Chinese characters maintain with real-world objects, reflecting the concrete origins of this writing system, which aids in memorability and learning. Oracle bone scripts represent the earliest known form of Chinese writing carved into turtle shells and ox bones during the Shang dynasty, which is from 1600s to 1046 BCE. These inscriptions were mostly used for divination, involving questions posed to ancestors or deities. The carving technique requires precision, and the medium influences character style and layout, providing valuable archaeological insight into ancient Chinese culture and language. So these images show the carving of characters into bones and shells. So there are over 150K oracle bone fragments discovered over the years, and they include written records revealing politics, rituals, and societal and cultural pictograms, and that led to the transformation of modern characters. Visual resemblance was critical in early Chinese characters to establish meaning directly connected to the reference. This iconicity provided an intuitive system that helped users recall and interpret symbols with relative ease. However, as the language and needs evolved, characters increasingly incorporated abstract components, balancing recognition and language flexibility. Unlike English, Chinese writing employs logographic characters rather than an alphabet. Each character represents a word or meaningful part of a word, not simply a sound. This system involves thousands of unique characters, which creates a direct visual link to meaning but requires extensive memorization. Modern Chinese writing standardized about 3,000 to 4,000 characters for functional literacy, with over 50,000 characters recorded in historical texts. Over centuries, many Chinese characters transitioned from simple pictographs to more abstract ideograms and composite characters. This change was driven by the need to represent complex ideas in phonetic nuances, leading to the development of radicals and phonetic components. Abstract forms allow for greater linguistic expressiveness and efficiency in writing and reading. The structure of Chinese characters evolved from intricate oracle bone carvings to more simplified, standardized forms, such as seal scripts, clerical scripts, and eventually modern regular script. These changes include stroke reduction, symmetry optimization, and uniform stroke order, improving legibility and ease of writing across various media and tools. Modern Chinese characters retain echoes of their pictorial origins despite thousands of years of development. For instance, radicals often hint at meaning or category, preserving the semantic roots from ancient images. Understanding these links aid learners and scholars in decoding characters and appreciating the linguistic heritage embedded within the script. Many characters start as pictures of real objects. Chinese characters are often composed of radicals and components that provide hints about punctuation and meaning, making the system ideographic. This complexity allows characters to convey rich semantic and etymological information. For instance, the character for forest, ling, combines two trees, mu, illustrating how concepts are visually encoded. This semantic depth contrasts with alphabetic scripts, emphasizing pictorial and conceptual representation over phonetics. Mandarin Chinese is the official state language of China and is spoken over 70% of the Chinese population, translating to approximately 900 million native speakers. Mandarin's promotion through education and media has significantly unified diverse linguistic regions, facilitating communication and national integration across multiple dialect areas. Mandarin is one of the most spoken languages worldwide, with over 1 billion speakers, including non-native speakers. It is the key language for international business, democracy, and cultural exchange, especially as China's global economic influence grows. UNESCO and linguistics studies rank Mandarin among the top languages learned as a second language globally. Chinese education typically requires students to learn approximately 3,500 characters to achieve literacy, sufficient for everyday reading and writing. This learning process spans elementary school years with focused instruction on stroke order, character recognition, and usage in context. Character acquisition involves rote memorization, repetition, and increasingly digital tools to reinforce retention. Challenges persist due to the high volume of characters and complexity of forms compared to alphabetic systems. Mandarin is a tonal language with 4 principal tones plus a neutral tone. These tones are essential because they differentiate meanings of otherwise phonetically identical syllables. For example, the syllable ma can mean mother, hemp, horse, scold, depending on its tone. This tonal system adds complexity to speaking and listening, but plays a crucial role in precise communication. Examples show Chinese tone twist exercises with numbers. We'll do a quick exercise later. Chinese characters are fascinating and intricate, but their complexity becomes manageable once you break them down into fundamental components called strokes. These strokes form the foundation of every Chinese character. By learning the basic strokes, you can build a strong foundation for writing Chinese characters correctly. The horizontal stroke, hen, is a straight horizontal line written from left to right. Vertical stroke, shu, a straight vertical line written from top to bottom. Left curved stroke, pie, is a slanted line from the top right to the bottom left. Right curved stroke, na, a slanted line from the top left to the bottom right. Dot stroke is dian, a small downward dot or tick. Left stroke, t, is a small upward flick written from left to right. Bend stroke, zhe, a stroke that changes direction sharply, such as from horizontal to vertical. Hook or end hook stroke, go, is a stroke with a small hook at the end, which can be attached to horizontal, vertical, or downward strokes. 2 examples for strokes in character writing. there are particular orders you need to follow. The top one means the word sun, and the bottom one means the word small. Chinese calligraphy is a revered art form practiced worldwide, balancing discipline and creativity. As a hobby, it provides cultural enrichment, stress relief, and a connection to Chinese heritage. Exhibitions and competitions promote calligraphy's cultural significance and encourage continuous innovation within cultural frameworks. Calligraphy transforms writing into visual art through brushstrokes, variations in ink density, and dynamic line quality. It emphasizes the expressive potential of characters where balance, flow, and emotion are conveyed artistically. This art form continues to inspire contemporary artists, integrating modern styles while preserving traditional essence. This photo shows students using sample books to practice calligraphy on bamboo paper. Each of the 5 major styles of Chinese calligraphy has its own unique characteristics. Seal script, Zhuan Shu. This style dates back to the Shang dynasty from 1600 BC to 1064 BC, and is characterized by its square block-like shape. It is originally used for engraving seals and is still used for this purpose today. Cleric script, Li Shu. This style is developed during the Han Dynasty from 206 BC to 220 AD, and is characterized by its flowing, graceful strokes. It is used for official documents and inscriptions. Regular script, Kai Shu. This style developed during the Han Dynasty and is most commonly used style of calligraphy today. It is characterized by its even, balanced strokes and is used for everyday writing. Cursive script, Cao Shu. This style developed during the Han Dynasty and is characterized by its rapid, flowing strokes. It is used for informal writing and is often difficult to read. Running script, Xing Shu. This style developed during the Han Dynasty and is characterized by its semi-cursive, flowing strokes. It is used for both formal and informal writing and is easier to read than cursive script. History and cultural significance of calligraphy as an art form, and techniques and traditions in Chinese calligraphy. Key calligraphy techniques include brush handling, stroke order, pressure control, and ink loading. Different script styles like seal, cleric, regular, running, and cursive reflect historical periods and artistic expression. Traditional training emphasizes meditation and disciplined practice, cultivating inner calm and focus alongside technical skill. Chinese calligraphy dates back over 2,000 years and is deeply entrenched in cultural, philosophical, and social traditions. It was historically a marker for scholarship and moral character and remains a revered art form embodying harmony, rhythm, and balance. Calligraphy has influenced other East Asian cultures and is recognized by United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization (UNESCO) as intangible cultural heritage. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Olivia. All right, so just before we go to the next one, I'm gonna have a quiz Sorry. Just one quickly that for the presentation I did. So let me just see, saved it. Can you all see how large is China's land? All right.
So
We
confused.
have 4, 5 people. Very good. Okay. I have 10. I'm gonna end the poll. So the correct answer is 9.6 million square meters. 9.8 actually is USA. So America actually is a little bit larger than China. All right, very good. Thank you. Okay, well, so I'm gonna have more quiz questions. Can you see it, right? Yeah, so that's good. And then next we're gonna have Gloria.
I'm not sure. You might have to share it for me because I'm not sure if my PowerPoint is shareable. So,
Oh, it's not working. All right. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Uh, Sorry, I haven't downloaded yet. Which one is yours? Zodiac?
yeah.
Okay. Hold on. And then next, please, Eric, be prepared for the next one. Okay.
So this presentation is going to be about the Chinese zodiac. Thank you. The Chinese zodiac consists of 12 animals: the rat, the ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and the pig. Each animal is believed to embody distinct traits and symbolic meanings that influence the personality and fortunes of individuals born under its sign. The cyclical nature of these animals forms the backbone and tradition of Chinese astrology, deeply intertwined with cultural festivities and folklore. The origins of the Chinese zodiac date back to over 2,000 years and are closely tied to ancient Chinese astronomy and timekeeping practices. It is thought to have evolved from the observations of Jupiter's 12-year orbit and the need to organize time via celestial phenomena. Legends also attribute the 12 animal selection to mythological festivals and imperial customs, reflecting how astronomy and folklore converge to form this enduring cultural system. The Chinese zodiac is rooted in ancient Chinese astronomy and cosmology, particularly linked to the lunisolar calendar system used for agriculture and rituals. The 12 animals correspond to earthly branches of the traditional Chinese timekeeping system, which divided the day into 12 two-hour periods. Records date back to the Han Dynasty from 206 BC to 220 BC. 220 CE, with myths suggesting even older origins tied to folk religion and animal symbolism, reflecting natural and cosmic phenomena. Each zodiac sign is linked with specific personality traits. For example, people born in the year of the tiger are often described as courageous and enthusiastic, while those born under the sheep are considered gentle and creative. These traits are widely referenced in Chinese psychology and social interactions, playing a role in matchmaking, career advice, and personal understanding. The dragon, unique in the zodiac for being dragon, uniquely in the zodiac for being mythical, symbolizes power, strength, and good fortune. It is revered in Chinese culture as a bringer of prosperity and vitality. Individuals born in the year of the dragon are often perceived as charismatic leaders and personal and ambitious innovators. This animal symbolism permeates festivals, imperial iconography, and modern cultural expressions. The Chinese zodiac is a popular subject in children's stories, educational materials, and folk tales, making it a fun and engaging means of transmitting cultural values. Stories about each animal's characteristic and the mythological origins of zodiac foster imagination and help children connect with Chinese heritage. This storytelling tradition continues to nurture cultural identity from a young age. Oh, sorry. Despite modernization, the Chinese zodiac retains substantial influence in contemporary society, impacting holidays, fashion, media, and personal identity. Surveys indicate that a significant majority of Chinese adults engage with zodiac-related customs annually. The zodiac integration with astrology apps, media, and marketing campaigns highlights its adaptability and ongoing cultural resonance. The Chinese zodiac has served as a cultural framework for identity, interpersonal relationships, and decision-making throughout millennia. It influences naming traditions, marriage compatibility, career choices, and festivals passed down across generations through stories and celebrations. Its widespread acceptance across diverse Chinese communities and its influence in neighboring East Asian cultures underscores its enduring cultural importance and communal significance. You should stay on the previous slide. I think 2 or 3. Okay. No. One more. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The canonical order of the Chinese zodiac animals is rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. This sequence is traditionally explained by folklore tales, such as the Great Race, which shaped popular understanding of each animal's position. The order serves as a base for calendrical cycles, symbolism, and astrological associations. I think one back. The origin stories often involve mythical tales such as Jade Emperor's race or contests among animals for order assignment. These narratives reflect values like cleverness, like the rat winning the race, diligence, the ox's steady nature, and bravery, like the tiger's fierceness. The story serves as allegories teaching moral lessons and reinforcing cultural traditions linked to each animal, embedding the zodiac deeply in folklore. Back one slide. Okay. Each zodiac animal is traditionally associated with specific personality traits. Rats are seen as intelligent and resourceful, ox as dependent and strong, tigers as brave and confident, rabbits as gentle and compassionate, dragons as energetic and charismatic, snakes as wise and mysterious, horses as free-spirited, goats as calm and creative, monkeys as clever and lively, roosters as observant and punctual, dogs as loyal and honest, and pigs as generous and diligent. These profiles influence social interactions and self-identity. People use their birth year zodiac animal to explore personality insights, potential fortunes, and compatibility with others. This practice is common during New Year celebrations and personal milestones. Websites, apps, and printed calendars provide easy lookup for these animals, making the tradition accessible worldwide and popularized beyond ethnic Chinese communities. Now, this is the year of the horse, so we'll be talking more about the horse. This horse symbolizes freedom, energy, and endurance in Chinese culture, representing success through perseverance and spirited independence. Historically, horses were essential in transportation and warfare, reinforcing qualities of speed and reliability. The horse year is often anticipated as a period of progress and movement, influencing societal activities and individual aspirations. Simplified legends about the zodiac animals are a staple in children's education and storytelling, teaching values like honesty, cleverness, and respect. Books, animations, and school plays often depict the great race or key animal traits, fostering cultural literacy and intergenerational knowledge transfer. These stories nurture cultural pride and identity from an early age.
All right, so this one is, the text actually is talking about this zodiac race, and the horse supposed to be one of the fast running animals, but because of other things happen, and horse is not number one. And then somehow a snake get secretly wrap around itself around the horse and crossing the river. So before the horse can reach the end, actually the snake is slippered in front of a horse. So in the order, snake is number 5 and snake is number 6 and horse end up with number 7. So the younger generation probably don't remember all of these stories, but when I was young, I mean, I kind of remember all of these stories until now. So yes, thank you that Gloria shared this story.
And thank you for sharing the personal insight with the story. Continuing on, individuals born in the year of the horse are commonly seen as energetic, independent, and animated with strong communication skills and a love of adventure. They're admired for their confidence, but can also be impulsive and impatient. These traits shape social expectations and are frequently referenced in horoscope interpretations. And we have Year of the Fiery Horse this year, which may contribute to this too. During the horse year, specific decorations such as horse motifs on lanterns, clothing, and lucky charms are popular. Rituals may include horse-themed dances and calls for speed and growth. These customs aim to invoke the horse's qualities of vitality and fortune, perpetuating cultural practices that link the zodiac with annual cycles of renewal.
I think this is it, right? No, one more?
There's one more.
One more. Oh, okay.
Yeah. During the Chinese New Year, the zodiac animal of that year is predominantly featured in decorations, parades, and rituals. Its image appears on red envelopes, lanterns, and public displays intended to bring luck and prosperity. The animal theme shapes festival events, dances, performances, and fireworks, reinforcing cultural continuity and communal identity through symbolic representation.
Right. So is that the cat ear? Do we have a cat ear on the picture? Oh, that's probably tiger, right?
Yeah, probably. I unfortunately don't.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I think we're really running a little bit behind. So Eric, are you ready? Your topic is very interesting. I'm gonna stop
My
sharing.
slideshow also isn't working. Could you share it?
You want me to share screen too? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah, is anybody born? So we have a horse in the audience. Gonna be 12 years old, right? Anybody?
My parents are both horses, but they're 60. So
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's a multiple of 12s. That's
yeah.
right. Yes. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, Subin, you're dragon. I'm dragon too. So you must be 12 years younger.
No, repeat.
I'm rooster. All right, let me share my screen. Okay. Then I need to. Okay.
Okay, so my slideshow is about Chinese food culture. Next slide. Okay, so we'll be talking about the central role of food in Chinese culture, unique dining customs and table settings, famous Chinese foods and their symbolism, regional diversity in Chinese cuisine, and chopstick etiquette and tradition. So in Chinese culture, meals serves as an essential daily rituals that extend beyond nutrition to include social bonding and expression of respect and hospitality. Historically, communal eating represents family unity and societal cohesion, with meals often marking transitions in daily life and social status. Studies show that over 80% of Chinese families prioritize shared meals, reflecting food's integral social function.
Yeah, I think this is probably as different between Chinese and American food. I know that Chinese and the Korean food. I think Korean food normally you have a small dishes that vegetables and share, and then in Chinese culture that people normally have a large plate, just like the picture saying that there's a large portion of food, the dishes, and then basically everybody just share using the same big plate of food.
Okay, so food acts as a potent symbol of solidarity and piety in Chinese society. Common meals involving sharing dishes foster communication and strengthen emotional ties among family members and friends. Research highlights that shared eating reinforces trust and collective identity, playing a critical role during family reunions and special occasions. During Chinese festivals like Lunar New Year, Mid-Autumn, and Dragon Boat Festival, specific foods carry auspicious meanings promoting luck, health, and prosperity. For example, fish symbolizes surplus, rice cakes indicate growth, and moon cakes represent unity. Food-related customs are deeply intertwined with regional variations, but universally emphasize preparation, sharing, and symbolic consumption. Chinese dining traditionally emphasizes shared dishes placed centrally for everyone to enjoy, fostering a collective dining experience. This custom contrasts Western individual plating and aligns with cultural values of harmony and equality. Studies show that this practice improves conversational flow and enhances dining satisfaction by promoting interaction and inclusiveness. Round tables symbolize equality and unity, allowing everyone equal access to dishes without a hierarchical seating arrangement. The Lazy Susan enhances this by allowing easy sharing and rotation of dishes, facilitating a smooth communal experience. Research notes that such arrangements reduce social barriers and reinforce feelings of inclusiveness during meals. Sharing food signifies generosity and reflects core Confucian values of harmony and reciprocity. Hosts typically encourage guests to partake fully, and the act of offering food is considered a gesture of goodwill and respect. Studies reveal that this practice strengthens interpersonal relationships and collective well-being. So dumplings, noodles, rice, and various vegetable dishes constitute staples across China, each with cultural and regional variation. Dumplings, traditionally shaped like ancient gold ingots, symbolize wealth. Noodles represent longevity. Rice is a basic staple symbolizing fertility and sustenance, and regional preferences influence preparations and accompaniments. Dumplings often symbolize wealth and prosperity due to their shape resembling ancient currency. Wrong slide.
I think somehow, hold on. Yeah, here.
Yeah. Okay. Other foods hold symbolic meanings such as oranges for luck, fish for surplus, and lotus seeds for fertility. These symbols play important roles during celebrations and rituals, influencing food choices and preparation methods. Next slide. Food is central to festival celebrations where specific dishes fulfill symbolic and ritualistic functions. For instance, mooncakes for the Mid-Autumn Festival symbolize family reunion. Glutinous rice dumplings at dragon boat festivals commemorate historical events, and fish served at New Year's symbolizes abundance. These foods reinforce cultural memory and social cohesion. Chinese cuisine is broadly categorized into 8 regional styles, including Cantonese, Sichuan, Shandong, and Jiangsu, each with unique cooking techniques like steaming, stir-frying, braising, and smoking. These styles reflect historical, climatic, agricultural, and cultural factors influencing ingredient selection and flavor profiles. So China is a very large country with many different climates, ingredients, and cooking traditions. Over thousands of years, these regional differences developed into distinct styles of cooking known as the 8 major Chinese cuisines. Each cuisine reflects the geography, local ingredients, and cultural history of its region. For example, Sichuan cuisine is famous for its bold, spicy flavors, while Cantonese cuisine emphasizes fresh ingredients and light seasoning. Together, these 8 cuisines show the incredible diversity and richness of Chinese food culture. So, Sichuan cuisine, the region is southwest China. It's like very spicy, and it uses Sichuan peppercorn, and a common dish there is mapo tofu. Cantonese cuisine, its region is Guangdong or Hong Kong. It's light, fresh, slightly sweet, and some famous dishes there are dim sum, roast duck, and sweet and sour pork. Shandong cuisine is in northern China. Its flavors are salty and savory, and it's known for seafood dishes and rich soups. Jiangsu cuisine is in eastern China with mild and slightly sweet. Some famous dishes are Yangzhou fried rice, and it's known for its elegant presentation. Chinese cuisine is the most popular international cuisine in America, holding approximately 36% of the U.S. Asian food market share. While tastes are evolving toward regional authenticity like Sichuan and Cantonese, a few iconic dishes consistently top the list of favorites. So according to the recent consumer data and takeout trends for 2025 to 2026, these 3 dishes remain the most ordered across the country. So first is General Tso's chicken, second one is fried rice, and the third one is lo mein. Iconic dishes, next slide. So iconic dishes such as Peking duck, mapo tofu, xiaolongbao, and dim sum showcase regional culinary identity. These specialties are celebrated for unique preparation methods and cultural associations, attracting both domestic and international culinary tourism. So chopstick etiquette. So chopsticks have been used in China for over 3,000 years, evolving from simple twigs to refined utensils, symbolizing wisdom, respect, and etiquette. Their use reflects Confucian values, emphasizing order and harmony during meals, with chopstick design varying over time and regions. Chopsticks remain central to Chinese dining culture while accommodating contemporary changes like disposable chopsticks and diverse materials such as bamboo, plastic, and metal. They are served as symbols in cultural events, culinary arts, and merchandise, highlighting identity and tradition modernization. So in conclusion, we have highlighted the indispensable role of food in Chinese culture, from its importance in daily life and festivals to the unique dining customs that foster community and harmony. We've explored the symbolic meaning behind popular dishes and the remarkable regional diversity that defines Chinese culture, including the respectful traditions surrounding chopstick use. And understanding these elements will enrich our appreciation of Chinese food culture as a vibrant and meaningful heritage. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Think we don't already time is running short. So we still have Michael to give us presentation very interesting topics about immigrants. Michael, your turn.
All right. Okay. Okay. I think this works. Yeah. So I'll be talking about immigration. So journey of China to America. Agenda is to discuss China's global cultural contributions and then also how it's modernized and the impact of Chinese immigration, along with some notable Chinese Americans. So with the Silk Road, that's really the start of how China expanded throughout the world, mostly through Asia, Africa, and Europe. So the transcontinental network was a lot of routes, and these caravan hubs were really where people would stop to sleep and take breaks because Silk Road is thousands of miles long, and China mostly moves silk, spices, and precious metals, which is very relevant today, and then also with ceramics, glassware, and other just like high value stuff, and they would trade with Africa for like salt, other stuff. And then so there's also a cultural exchange that happened along in the Silk Road, so ideas and technologies like the compass, like paper, that all traveled throughout the Silk Road. So Chinese immigrants first came to America because of the gold rush. They wanted to get some better opportunities, and also gold rush basically was guaranteed work. However, they did face a lot of danger and discrimination, especially on the West Coast, because all these Americans thought that they were taking their jobs. However, they were able to build these conclaves, so basically their own communities, and that helped them persevere through these challenges. So the push factors of China during this time before they modernized and become the global superpower that we know today was that there was a lot of poverty, a lot of famine, and also during this time, I think this was during the time of the Opium Wars, so there was a lot of foreign influence within China, and that was really making it hard for people to live. And as a result, California, the gold rush offered higher wages and also just a chance to be able to build wealth that wasn't possible in China. So mostly they mined, but they also were a crucial part of the transcontinental railroad in America, and they also opened their own like restaurants and stuff. That's how we know of like Chinese American dishes. So, orange chicken, a lot of what Panda Express has to offer, and uh, as we see today, there's a lot of Chinatowns, and that's where usually a lot of Chinese immigrants like to go because you usually know someone there or just a lot of familiar, faces and especially like your language and culture. And we'll discuss later all these challenges and threats, so like the Chinese Exclusion Act and all that. So we'll talk about the phases. So they're first recruited. All these contractors, they, go to China, they recruit people, and the crossing to America isn't as easy as we know it today. Planes didn't exist, so they had to go by ship, and all these conditions is very cramped and it's very risky. I mean, some ships like crash, and so definitely not an easy journey. And usually San Francisco is the main port during this time, and so they usually go through there and then get a railroad job, get a mining job. And by 1867, Chinese laborers were over 80% of the workforce in the Central Pacific. So the working conditions were not great. It was long hours on dangerous places. All these mines very uh, could fall at any second, and as a result, there were a lot of deaths, and they were also paid less, as we talked about before, in their discrimination. But common Chinese values, discipline and efficiency and hard work, and that was very displayed throughout our time in the 1850s and 60s. So in 1869, there was one day, April 28th, where we laid 10 miles in a single day, and it was very remarkable. Well, now we get to the ugly part, which is the Chinese Exclusion Act. So the government listened to all these complaints on the West Coast about these Chinese laborers taking up all these jobs and starting all their own businesses, and all the white people just didn't like that. So as a result, 1882, uh, they restricted immigration and eventually, just cut it off. But it was eventually repealed in 1943 after China helped in World War II. So there's a lot of Chinatowns throughout the U.S., Philadelphia, San Francisco, D.C., everywhere, and they give you a glimpse of, Chinese culture. They look really nice. They have a lot of great food, and as a result, a lot of people like to go there. Like even non-Chinese people, it's a really good tourist spot, and they've grown over time. And as a result, the Chinese culture has spread throughout the world. But there's also influence of Chinese people in STEM. So a lot of Chinese parents, they want their children to become doctors, lawyers, and as a result, we see a lot of Chinese people in the top of their field. Some examples are David Ho and Jerry Yang, and we'll discuss later some leaders in this space. So in business, it's kind of the same thing, but one particular guy, Jensen Huang, he's the CEO of NVIDIA, and he's kind of like the face of AI right now, and he has a lot of power and a lot of wealth. I think NVIDIA is the most valuable company in the world. So talk about the most important people. So Chen Shengwu was a physicist. She was a Chinese American nuclear physicist known as the First Lady of Physics, and she conducted the Wu experiment that changed physics and also worked on the Manhattan Project, which is the first nuclear bomb and only nuclear bomb that was dropped on like a civilian population. So I.M. Pei is the architect. He designed the Louvre in Paris, where the Mona Lisa is, and also the National Gallery East Building in Washington, D.C., and he's known for his modern geometric architecture that's displayed in both of these buildings. Lisa Su is the CEO of AMD, so they make AI chips, computer chips, and processors, and they've been really growing a lot lately, and as a result, they are a major player in the semiconductor industry. So as we talked before, Jensen Huang, he's a technology pioneer, and the foundation of why NVIDIA is so big now is because they have GPUs, which all the AI companies have to use, and their GPU chips are top of the line, like best in the world. And as a result, if companies don't keep buying new chips, they'll fall behind. And as a result, he arguably has the most power and wealth in the world. And Bruce Lee, a legend. He's an actor and martial artist, and he stars in films like Film of the Dragon. He's known for introducing Kung Fu to global audience, and he's also just a cultural icon of strength and discipline. Ang Lee is a film director. He's Taiwanese-born American director. He's directed films like Life of Pi and Hidden Dragon, and he's a two-time Oscar Award winner. Finally, we have Andrew Yang. So he ran for president in 2020 for the Democrats. Unfortunately, he did not win, but he founded Venture for America, and he promotes innovation and economic opportunity. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Michael. I know, sorry to push you to really run through this presentation quickly. Very good. Thank you. I think we really don't have any, we do have other presentation, but it's just too much for tonight. I think we probably next time we're gonna control our time better and then really look forward to our in-person get together, and then we can try different sample different food from both Korea and then China, and then I think that the student can probably ask more questions, and then maybe can experience some of the art, and then other how to use a nice chopstick, and then something like that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I hope everyone learned a lot. I definitely learned a lot from the presentations, and yeah, I didn't know a lot of, like, when I think it was Olivia when she was explaining how the letters were like created. I thought that was very interesting, and that was something that I didn't know, and I definitely enjoy Chinese food a lot. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you, everyone, all the students who prepare the presentation, and thank you.
Thank you so much to
Thank you.
participate. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night. We look
Good night,
forward to our
everyone.
next event.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.